Thanks for joining the channel, everybody. Today we're doing a different kind of news for Rebel Cat Views. Today I'm doing commentary of a political nature on a huge story involving Tennessee Congressman, as reported by Benny Johnson on The Benny Show. And he featured a Tennessee Congressman who had some interesting things to say. This also pertains back to a previous video that I posted yesterday, throwback to Isaac Cappy, Brackets and Jackets edition, Steen Island. We're doing a little commentary here on the clip that the Young Turks TYT chose to report from The Benny Show. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe while we get into it. Thanks for supporting the channel.
Ordered unsealed by a federal judge, but at one point, Burchett claimed that many good conservatives and other members of Congress are being entrapped and then blackmailed to vote certain ways.
Okay, so let me just clarify what's going on here. The Tennessee Congressman went on The Benny Show on his YouTube channel, and he disclosed that he was aware of honeypot operations, and this came to light based on the Epstein flight logs, which may be coming out in January. That's right, Tennessee Congressman Tim Burchett's statements on Epstein, blackmail, and honeypot operations going on all over Congress and the Senate on both sides of the aisle have people shook.
Be honest, and powerful people in this country, they write the big checks, and they're the ones out on the tarmac when the president comes and visits, and whichever party they're in, they always either out on the tarmac or in the private room. They're the ones that write the big checks. They don't care who's in. They hate this country. They hate what we're about, but they love their portfolios and they love their money more than they do anything else. And they protect it, and they protect the people that do that. And by doing so, the old honeypot, the Russians do that, and I'm sure members of Congress have been caught up. Why in the world would good conservatives vote for crazy stuff like what we've been seeing out of Congress?
Wow. And just look at her face. She is shocked. She's not the only one. Jesse Waters on Fox News on Waters World had this take.
How can you explain the open border or the record spending and all the BS that comes out of that town? Well, Congressman Tim Burchett of Tennessee says sexual blackmail in the House, just a part of the deal.
It's how it works. You're visiting, you're out of the country or out of town, or you're in a motel or bar in D.C., and whatever you're into, women or men or whatever, comes up and they're very attractive and they're laughing at your jokes and you're buying them a drink. Next thing you know, you're in the motel room with them naked, and next thing you know, you're about to make a key vote, and what happens? Some well-dressed person comes up and whispers in your ear, "Hey man, there's tapes out on you. Were you in a motel room on whatever with whoever?" And then you're like, "Uh-oh," and said, "You really ought not be voting for this thing."
Wow, I only thought there was like one Swalwell. Turns out there's dozens.
So I'm actually a bit shocked by that, to be honest with you. This is like...
Don't be shocked by that.
And that's where I disagree with TYT, because as anybody that's been following any news over the past 6 years at least, everybody knows about Steen Island. Many of you already know about Isaac Cappy. Many of you already know that Congress and everything in Washington is as jaded and disgusting as it possibly can be.
Well, that wraps up my year. That's that was not something I had on my calendar to end 2023, where the Young Turks going to do a 7-minute segment on how great our reporting is and how much they agree with it in general. Senk, by the way, you were wrong. It's never Republicans in these sex scandals. You might recall.
And I'm sorry, Benny, but that's where I disagree with you as well, because it is never the Republicans, because sometimes it is the Republicans, okay? These gross people are on both sides of the aisle. Nobody is safe. All of these dudes are very, very gross. And it's not just the dudes. I just say dudes. It's the dudes and the chicks and the gals and the them theys and all of them. It is all of them. Vote them out. Drain the swamp. Come on back, Daddy Trump. You can't get here fast enough. God help us. That's a Tennessee congressman spilling the dirt, you guys. Subscribe.